Hi everyone. I have gotten a lot of questions that kind of all circle around what is the best way to share materials and resources. Because basically the problem we're faced with is there's so many options for doing it that it's like confusing and you don't know which option to use and some of them don't seem to work. So I played around with this, and if you want to see where I played around with it, you could go follow these breadcrumbs to get there. You're going to look for my shared sample sandbox folder, which is not exemplar. It's messy, but it shows you technically how things would work. For example, this is a page that is displaying inline, which means you can see the thing in the page, which is this picture right there, which is nice. These folders, this is the one I'm going to go through in this video, playing with different ways to post and share materials. And I tried to make little notes so you can see the differences. Like here's a page, here's also a page, but this one is displaying in line. I'm going to come back to that because it's almost more tricky to show you that. Below these are things that are not in pages. These are like files and other things that I added. So basically I came here, this says I used import file. So what does that mean? I clicked over here and I scrolled down and I wanted to import that Google Doc from my resources. So I went to apps, and yeah, this is all gonna come up in just the weirdest order. I can't quite explain it. Good thing there's a search bar there. And so I had, what was it? This one. And I have, by the way, I found that this sometimes glitched on me. This one never did. So I'm going to stick up here. I could import the file, which is what I did on the page. It kind of converts it to like, it looks like it's converting it to a Word document, but then when you open it, it's a Google Doc. I don't quite understand that, but it's basically like a frozen snapshot of that file, I believe. I don't believe it's going to update. If I went into this rubric and I made changes, but I imported the file, I don't think that's going to show up. If I wanted it to stay current, I want to just give a link to that file, which I could have done. I know that this file is viewable by everyone in FCPS, which means I could import a private link, but all that means by private is that it's going to retain my private settings. I'm the owner of that document, and I set the permissions so it's viewable by everyone. So a private link isn't really private. It means that it'll still have those settings. If, for instance, I tried to upload this one, I know that only a few people were at that meeting. So if I imported the private link, basically none of my students would be able to actually see that thing. It would open up and say, like, they'll try to request access. So if you import private link, make sure your settings are how you want them to be. Import link, like, basically doesn't work, so I'm going to skip it when I explain this. And import file is what I already did here. So I'm just going to close that. Let's look at the difference. Here I imported this file, and it was a Google Doc like I told you, and now it's showing up as like not a Google Doc, but like, gosh, actually the formatting still looks great. So that one turned out fine. Hit the back button. This one I tried, like I wrote, I tried import link, and like nothing seems to work with that. So I'll just hit back. And then this one I used import private link. Here, this is a document that I own. I didn't create it. I got a copy somewhere. And if I hit the share settings, I'm the only one who can see this. Nobody else can. So I just kind of wanted to show that as an example of what can happen if you don't have your share settings set up properly. So you'd want to make sure that your students can view it if you share the private link. But the difference there is it links. See how that opened up in a new page? it didn't create like a file embedded within Schoology like it did here. Alright, so that's those three. Here I added a file. This was actually just on my hard drive. So here I went to add file, and I attached a file that was on my hard drive. That could be any kind of file, basically any kind of file. There it is. So let me get rid of that because that's clutter. Then here, yes, delete. Finding the My PDE trainings. That was the YouTube video that was shared earlier in this week. I just added a link right here, add file/link. I clicked a link, and I put the URL in the title. I could mess with these options. I think I said display in Schoology. We'll check that in a minute. Or I could display it in a new window, like it would open up a new tab. Let's see, how did I do it? I opened up a new window, apparently. So you could do it that way. Hello. Well, let's just mess around with that. How would that look if I... Oh, I need a YouTube video. Is this it? That's it. So, there's my link, YouTube, video, and let's display in Schoology. Let's see how if that is different. No, it's not. So, I actually don't know what the deal is with that. Fascinating. So, that seems buggy. And then here, I imported as embed from the YouTube resource app. So I showed you up there how I used, to import from resources using the app Google Drive. But what if I used the YouTube app? I looked for like Muppet Show theme, and one of these was it. I think I chose this one, in fact. You can preview it to make sure you're getting the right video. Oh gosh, don't you love Kermit? And so this only gives you the one option, import as embed. It's one of my favorites. I think it just looks nice when you do it that way. And even though it looks funky right here, that's funny, that time it actually came up right away. Both of these cases, once you hit that play button, it is embedded just fine. And I could go watch it on YouTube if I want to see it on a bigger screen. So now, let me get rid of that extra one before I forget. Now let's talk about pages. I know this is a long video, but yeah, I don't know how else to explain this stuff. So pages displayed on a new page or inline. Let's look at the new page. I could insert media or an image like this one. You know what? How about I just leave this here for you all to read later, and I'll just demonstrate how I can make this from scratch instead. You all can explore this one later as a resource. I'll show you how I made it. Notice that this one is inline, and I was able to embed the YouTube video pretty easily. So let's do it. Let's create a page. Boop. Add a page. One thing I'll say about adding a page is what I usually do. I can even show you an example. I build out something nice in some Google document. You can see I just kind of have this like working rough draft page, and then I copy and paste it over here, because I find the formatting gets a little funky. So that's just a tip, but this is a page. I can obviously type stuff, and I can edit all that type. This button is going to do so much for you. We're going to explore that. And then there's buttons down here too. So these buttons are very much like the ones I was just showing to you. I can import files from my hard drive. I can add links. I can add resources from Google Drive, and they're going to function just like I was just showing you. Right, like let's say I wanted this one, I would have these import options. So go back earlier in the video if you have to remember how that works. You can do an audio or video recording, which is cool. I'm not in like video ready mode right now, so let's just do audio. Hi kids, these are the directions for your lesson today. Follow the directions. Hi kids, these are the directions for your lesson today. Follow the directions. And I could insert that, and it's going to show up at the bottom. So that's a nice accommodation even for your Ls and students with disabilities, and it's also just a nice human touch for all students. Now let's look at this button. This is the one you're going to use all the time. You could insert image or media. I'm going to press enter. I want my image right there. Let's see. I could attach a file from my folder here. Let's go ahead. I'll attach that file. Ooh, it's huge. So no problems. I can make it smaller. And if I am too lazy with that, I can, let's make it, I should probably do some like actual ratio to make sure I'm doing that right. Hey, good job, Lee. That looks pretty good. Then I could instead, let's say I want to put a YouTube video right in the middle of this page. So let me talk through that again. I click image media. Like it's a YouTube video, so it's from the web. It's more than an image, it's media. It says link or embed. I like the embed code option. So here, when I go onto a YouTube page, I can share either just the link. Maybe that'll work. Let me just do that first. I'm not sure what that'll do for us. What if I just do the link? Oh, looks like it's embedding it for you. Even better. I was thinking that you might have to use this embed code with the HTML, but it looks like you don't even have to. Nice. So there's my YouTube video, there's my image. Oh, I just deleted my image. No problem. Let's get another image. Oh, Lee, you're wasting time. Okay. There's my image. It's not too big either. Now let's look at, I could do a link here. I can also do that with this button right here. It's no different, so I'm not going to even show you. You guys know how to do that. This one is very similar to what we were playing with earlier. You can find whatever document it was you were trying to share. Where's mine? And then I can import link. Doesn't so much work, remember? That one doesn't really work. Import private link maintains all of the sharing positions as I already have them. And import embed is going to put it right in the middle. So let's do that. Let's play with that. Here's the box where that's going to show up. Now when I come to my options, I could make it so that only certain students can see the page. I want to publish this, or I can display on a new page or inline. I like inline. Let's check it out. And there it is. I got my YouTube video playing right in the page, and I've got this Google Doc embedded right in the page. Isn't that neat? Alright, so if you guys have any follow-up questions, just let me know. You know where to find me. Thanks, guys.